Hello everyone and welcome to just some chill time Battlefield. While it is absolutely not chill today, it is in fact too warm. It is in fact, it is fucking warm in Europe. Drink cool stuff. Have some ice, generally, here are a few things. Fuck off, bot! Be gone into the abyss. If you live in Europe, here's the thing, and you have a freezer, like you can freeze stuff. Have a few forms just to make ice cubes. Genuinely, just have a few. I should probably get a better form at some point just to get like uniform ones, but anyway. And then you just take, you go to your like local store, get like a 6-liter bag, like just a plastic bag, and you pour them in when they're frozen. Then you make a new batch, put them in. New batch, put them in. Just have a big bag of ice cubes because holy shit, they will save your life. And drinks. But still stay hydrated. Generally, just stay hydrated a lot. Cool stuff just helps. I have a few things. Night. Okay, I want to say night maps are out, but in reality they actually released a filter for Portal, so you can actually turn every single map in the game into a night map, which makes it even more interesting that they just didn't do that themselves, that you can just have a night variant of every map, but someone actually made a night version of his Battle Royale map Beach Landing, so you know what? Let's look at least into it for one round, okay? Okay. There's a turn voice chat on all the time.
Objective Delta has been neutralized.
We have the day version again. Wait. I'll just... Don't tell me. Yeah, now.
Objective Delta is under our control.
Definitely should build better landing boats here. I do wonder if they will make this one into a real map at some point, though.
We've lost control of Objective Charlie. Objective Alpha neutralized.
Die.
Enemy forces have taken Objective Charlie.
Okay. Whom's the fuck is shooting at me?
Objective Foxtrot is under our control. We've neutralized Charlie. We've taken Objective Charlie.
Get over to that waypoint.
Secured by hostiles. The enemy has taken
But
Delta.
last time, honestly, Rush was actually pretty fun to play, so might do that again. But yeah.
Grab what you can!
Objective Bravo neutralized.
Contact! Enemy tank!
We have lost Golf. The enemy is taking Alpha. We've neutralized Delta. Alright, friendlies have secured objective Delta. We've lost objective Bravo.
I always remember how open this map is, so like, I do wonder how well Zero Reef will play, because that one is supposed to come out next season. I'm kind of interested in that, because, you know, big island map with boats and all that, but
Delta's been lost.
supposedly really big, and yeah.
Objective Charlie is in enemy hands.
The spawn points work now. I do think making Fort Linden a full map would be interesting, though. It's definitely not a full server, though, so...
Oh, I owe you one!
Cover me!
Yeah, I think overall I would say it runs better, but this is definitely one of those... Look, they are cycling through it so much. I'm surprised they have not made it actually into an official map yet. Maybe with the release of Season 4 or something. They have some more stuff to script beach landings. Maybe then. Who knows? do wonder how this will play though when I think next week the gun changes happen.
Advised, we've lost control of objective Golf.
This is gonna be very interesting.
Objective Bravo is under our control.
Objective Delta neutralized.
Reference waypoint. Move there now.
Friendlies have secured Objective Delta.
Reposition. Move now.
Objective Alpha neutralized.
Objective Alpha is under our control.
Hostiles now control Delta.
Yeah, little birds are also now in here.
We've neutralized Charlie. We have secured Charlie. Be advised, we no longer control Objective Bravo. Be advised, the enemy has secured Bravo. Objective Echo has been lost.
Friendlies have secured objective Delta.
Objective Echo is in enemy hands. Be advised, we no longer control Foxtrot. The enemy now controls Foxtrot. Our forces have neutralized Echo.
Wait.
Objective Alpha has been neutralized.
If the server was full, it would probably be kind of would probably not run badly. But sorry, we don't get 32 players on this map apparently. 32 per team. Ah.
Bravo has been neutralized. Objective Echo has been lost. Be advised, Objective Echo is in enemy hands.
Oh my god, I just realized
We've lost control of objective
Plan
Alpha.
C pharmacy. No! Plan C. Oh god.
Enemy tank spotted!
I did not expect such a morbid thing. I just noticed that now. Oh god. Oh. For anyone who doesn't know what I mean with that, Plan C basically means just kill the person. Like, yeah, the whole joke is like, Plan A is like, you know, the good plan. Plan B is the fallback. Plan C is just fuck it, kill him. Plan C pharmacy is just, oh boy.
Our forces have neutralized Delta. Objective Alpha has been neutralized.
Let's move!
Be advised, hostiles now hold objective Alpha.
Objective Bravo neutralized. Charlie has been neutralized. Bravo has been secured. Taking effective fire! Objective Golf neutralized. We've lost objective Foxtrot. The enemy's taken objective Foxtrot.
We've lost control of objective Charlie.
Objective Charlie is being captured by hostiles. Be advised, troop numbers are critical.
Contact! Enemy helicopter!
We've neutralized Foxtrot.
Let's go!
We've neutralized Delta.
The enemy has taken objective Bravo.
I mean, it's over in a second. I don't think if we get the night version afterwards that we will like really play a full new round.
Advised, objective Gulf has
Probably
been
just
lost.
go to a rush or something. It was really fun last time.
The enemy has control of Gulf. Objective Bravo is under our control. We no longer control objective Delta. Our forces have neutralized objective Charlie.
Look, it kind of sucks that they have like Caspian Border, Valparaiso, and I think Cap Hell's was it called? Pictures in the game, but like don't have the maps, and it's like, could have had them. Just saying, would be nice.
All call signs. We're running out of time.
Wouldn't surprise me if there were actually some plans to make Portal remake maps again. Ooh. Or, you know, at least port the existing ones and then, you know, add a few. I can see that.
Objective Delta has been neutralized.
Move to that location!
Be advised, Echo has been captured by hostiles.
Grab what you can!
Objective Alpha has been neutralized.
Well, yeah, you know, if the night version isn't coming up next. If it's a night version, we'll look around a bit. If not, we just fuck off. It's getting a bit less Wando. Oh, this is so nice. A bit less, I said. Wait. Okay. Nope, day version. Okay. This switching to rush, I suppose. That's fine. You know what? Yeah, just why did I have Rush on Carry Bazaar in? Anyway, it's interesting that Contaminated and Empire State don't have Rush. Like Contaminated could. You probably need to work a bit, but Saints Quarters could also. But it's a different topic. What do we need to do? Oh, who cares? We'll find out in game. Huh. It sounds like engineer stuff, but I will first finish up my LMG. Because it's big. Well, not finishing up, but I will use the LMG because... Big gunfires. Then we can do some rocket launching. Spooky. The hay is levitating.
Enemy charges set on objective Alpha.
Sorry if I don't have that much to talk about. Cairo Bazaar, nice.
Squad, we need enemy communications offline. Locate your target and execute full demolition.
A little rush. Always works. Eh. Damn it. Good teammate. New teammate, can you quickly kill them, maybe? Yeah. Oh, no.
Our troops have destroyed
It worked out.
Take what you can! We got the man down! Cheers! Thank you!
explosive set on objective Bravo.
Honestly, I kind of like the new first sector. And something with the new destroyed LA. That didn't work out. Okay. What is, I definitely need to check the outside temperature because I think it's slowly getting at least a bit cooler. And what is the 23 degrees? Oh my god, this is almost normal temperatures again.
Be advised, our forces have been weakened. We have set charges on Bravo.
Nice. Well, next thing to look out for is probably just seeing what, maybe, ATMP-40. Oh, yeah, block gun. Block gun. Whee. It turns out I really like the SMGs in this title. I really hope they will not be hit too much, but they definitely need to be hit in some form. You know what, let's keep using the MP40. I just like that one. That is one of my favorites. I don't know, was it also in... I vaguely remember it also being in back then in Insurgency, but like, I just know Agonia loved playing the MP5K because for her it was just like she ran into a room, she pressed the left mouse button, and things were dead. That was all that counted. And when we played the Hardline beta, for her it was the Vector, because turns out it is you point into a room, you press the left mouse button, and things die. And she really liked that.
The enemy have set explosives on Bravo.
No. I'm still kind of angry. Yeah. There's, at some point, there's this one part of the year where I just get angry that I live in a country where, ACs or heat pumps are not, like, required by law, because it is...
We need to defend the main objective. The enemy has set explosives on Bravo.
The enemy have set explosives on Alpha. We have defused the enemy explosives on Alpha.
Enemy explosives on objective Alpha.
Yeah, it is kind of... It is kind of a sham, because, like, it's so funny when you're like, oh, yeah, like, the only reason, you're not supposed to install stuff like AC or, prep buildings for the heat is simply due to the fact that up until like 10 years ago, it was not the biggest issue to deal with. I mean, don't get me wrong, we actually have, for the same reasons, a lot of building codes in Europe. Like, look, why is, like, ever thought about why are most buildings in, like, Germany or, like, Central Europe built with concrete and really good mandated isolation? Yes, on one hand, it is to, save energy during the winter, which, came from the whole 70s, etc. oil crises, but, and this is actually kind of an important thing to keep in mind, one of the main things why people demanded, buildings to be insulated is quite literally, people deserve to be warm in winter. And and there was just this idea that, aside from general heating, houses should do the minimum amount of work to ensure that a house stays actually warm, during cold periods. Which makes sense, right? Makes complete sense. Now we live in times where, sadly, in the other half of the year, it can also get really, really warm. Yeah.
Be advised, this is our final stand. Defend the sector at all costs. Marked objective is under threat. Defend the position.
Armed explosives on objective Bravo.
Ugh. But yeah, in general, I would say we should just like really demand that at least apartment buildings, like if you rent buildings out, they should have mandatory AC/heat pumps, because it is getting ridiculous. Like,
Go with me!
I think it is also it has been said before, but like it is also such a dumb thing to say, oh, do we really need ACs and stuff? ACs are really energy efficient. Okay, look, just so you know, it's not that ACs do not draw no power, okay? But like, someone actually looked at an AC like drawing, basically being used maximum time during a year, like for the average amount, and like the running cost of an AC per year would, and just the cooling part, like again, if you do heating, yes, this would basically double, but we get to that, okay? And again, you probably don't even need to do that much heating because well-insulated houses are, you know, easier to heat. And also, if they're well insulated, you can also, you know, easier cool them down without having that much loss. Anyway, so if we're talking operating costs, you probably will think, oh, well, you know, they're energy hungry, right? They will cost a lot of money over the year. And the answer is, well, I don't know, 80 bucks, roughly, like 80 euros. And that is, you know, with a country that has artificially inflated electric prices. If we actually change our electric pricing system, you know, do the average, this would drop rapidly. That's it. 80 euros for the year overall. That's not a lot, is it? And the thing is, it actually makes kind of sense if you sit down and realize that, you know, most ACs, and again, heat pumps are just ACs that you can reverse. Let's just be clear about that for a second. Have like a general power consumption of 550 watts. And if some of you are now like, wait a second, the average PC has draws more power. Yes. Look, I have a really I have like a thing that can draw up to 1000 watts because that shit was just cheap. But like an average strong PC has a, how's it called, a power supply of 800 watts, 800 to 850 watts. That's like the usual thing. There are some older ones, but generally somewhere you can look down to like 650 to 700 watts. But again, notice how the AC is still drawing less watts. And by the way, everyone has a PC nowadays. Everyone. But when we talk about those wattages, I can... Hey, this is not only for standard ones.
Explosives armed on objective Bravo.
The enemy have disarmed our explosives on Bravo. Explosive set on objective Alpha.
Yeah. Even fridges use more. Yeah, I mean, PCs can draw up to, like, mine is also not drawing that much, but still, you know, that's the thing, ACs can draw up to 550 watts, that's like the idea of, oh, it's running like that all the time. It's like, I'm sorry, these things are not that energy hungry as many believe. And it's generally kind of insane to me, because the more you actually learn about them, the more you realize, wait a second, it's also not that hard to install, because like, look, the worst thing I saw, that was like an interesting video about it, like everyone involved was just like, oh shit, these things work really well and don't cost that much energy, and you can clean them really easily and maintain them really easily when you know install a fixed one. And also, oh my god, they cool down like over 10 degrees in like 10 minutes, and they're really efficient. Like, yes, obviously. And the downside is you need to drill a hole in your outside wall. Look, I don't know, but like, I don't know how to put it in a better way, but, excuse me? Where's that a downside? It's drilling a hole. One hole. Like, I know in our apartment, one spot where you could easily install one. No problem. And I know that in this building, multiple areas of that kind exist, where they could easily just install a fucking AC everywhere. And then, and I kid you not, because, you know, there's insulation, and, you know, you could actually route cables inside of the insulation if you wanted to, even, just so it looks nice, like up to the roof, for example, and like you could put all the stuff on the roof, so they're like even easily accessible for maintenance. Or, you know, just one big unit, but anyway, the thing is, it is incredibly easy to just mount some. Again, it will take time, especially in the apartment building, but like, come on. Will it cost a bit? Sure. Will it save lives? Yes, it will. Like, holy shit, what are we talking about here? I'm sorry, but like, I know I've talked a lot about, you know, awnings and shutters and all of that, but the reality here is, the most lives will be saved by just saying install ACs in apartment buildings. Or, you know, and the moment you install ACs, just install a heat pump. Like, oh, but what about the central heat? Yeah, you can leave that in. Who cares? Look, I can tell you. Having like a backup heating system is not bad. But also most of the time during the winter, I can tell you, we would probably not even need that, because turns out, and I know this probably sounds crazy, a well-placed heat pump slash AC is also just more efficient than a classic heater. See, look, if you name it, because if you go and do the whole, how's it called, heating thing, it basically works on one principle. You have like a heating array, and that heating array then, you know, heats up the air around it, and that air, you know, goes up and spreads through the room. Now, the thing why heat pumps are more efficient is the same way ACs are like so efficient, because old heaters are on the ground. They come from the ground. Not that this, you know, this doesn't work. But here's the thing. If you then go, okay, and look where the units are for ACs, they are up the top, and they blow warm air out. Guess what can spread way easier through a room? Again, especially if you pair it with something like a fan, and like fans don't really draw a lot of electricity, and you can just, you know, swirl the heat around a bit, and oh wow, wait a second, this is working really well. Stuck on the goddamn tank.
Our troops have armed explosives on Alpha.
week.
I owe you one.
Damn it.
Reports of losses coming in. We have armed explosives in objective Bravo. Hostiles have disarmed our explosives on Bravo.
But yeah, it's a lot right now. And again, tomorrow, I think tomorrow really it starts going to be super hot. So we'll see how we survive that week. I do know one part will probably be cooling pads, a lot of cooling pads in the neck of Agonia, and otherwise probably the intrinsic urge to just play more Monster Hunter Portable Threat in the evening, which will make her survive it. She won't probably feel too well. We had like already incidents yesterday, so generally, I want to point out, you should not only drink a lot. Like, I know people are like, oh, hey, there are reasons to be concerned, but I think what people always forget is that individual heat is not the main problem. Continuous heat is. And there, something like 27 degrees can already be enough for a lot of people to just give them problems. So yes, please be very aware how hot it is in your area, how humid it is, because humidity can make it worse, and just keep all of that in mind, because yeah, managing heat is, is as much of how much can you mitigate during the day, but also, and this is like really crucial, and I cannot stress enough, how many downtimes where you can just cool down can you have actually? Because if you don't have moments where your body can just cool down, you will run into problems. Because look, there are some bodies that can deal with that pretty well. Like, for example, as I've said before, I'm one of those people that just starts bitching. I don't sleep well, and I just take some more sleep. But when it's hot, and I just work. Like, I have an appointment on Thursday, and it very much looks like it's going to be stupidly hot. I don't think I will have problems. Agonia could not take that appointment because, again, she already had problems over the last days. So yeah, be very aware where your own limits are. And even more crucially, in my opinion, try to have, like, genuine cool periods, because not cooling down is can be like a genuine mistake. Like even if you think during night, oh look, it's just 20 degrees, this is fine. No. Look, if it's 20 degrees in the evening, okay, genuinely take an ice pack from the fridge, cool your body down a bit more. It does help in the long run. Human bodies are like... Human bodies can resist a lot, but it really depends from person to person. I keep forgetting that I'm not a support anymore. Fuck. It's kind of funny when you're like, your muscle memory is like, oh yeah, press 3 to pull out your, defibrillators. And then you're like, wait, no. I just pulled out a rocket launch. Truth be told, it would actually be kind of... Oh, fuck. That's the problem when you look at something like Portal. Because I don't know if you could do that, but now I'm like... Imagine if you'd make basically, a game mode where all the classes have even weirder, gadgets or specializations. Like, imagine, there is basically a revive rocket. Long cooldown, yes, but basically one support can just pull out a rocket, shoot in the crowd, and they all get revived. That would be funny. That would generally be funny.
Be advised, marked objective under threat. Let's defend the position.
Enemy charge set on objective Bravo.
You're gonna make it! Hold on!
shooting?
Set on Bravo.
Enemy forces are taking shape, but keep going.
Defensive position needed on the marked objective.
Hostiles armed explosives on Bravo.
Well, truth be told, not really that concerned. Ooh, we're hitting 200 soon. That's something. You know what? I haven't played the big version in a long while. Why not go to some breakthrough?
We need to advance by sector and secure the AO. Enemy positions are ready to engage. Let's move. We've taken a sector. Hostiles are retreating. Take out any remaining hostiles. You're leaving the AO. Return to combat. New enemy sector is your target. Move in and secure. Attack coordinates to the marked objective.
Okay. You literally was just looking like, what are you doing there? Hi. I'm just climbing up that ladder.
We are attacking objective Bravo.
Caught live in 4K.
Contact! Enemy tank!
Couldn't move backwards now.
Be advised, Bravo is under enemy control. We have taken the sector. Hostiles are retreating.
Sweep the area for all remaining hostiles. We are moving on final sector. Target the objectives and finish this. Objective marked. We need you supporting the attack.
Damn it. I'm thinking, I'm trying to think of something to talk about right now because, truth be told, it is hard to think about stuff when it's warm and hot.
Heads up and the fight is ours. Let's get it done.
Truth be told, I do think it was probably a mistake for the series to ever abandon its completely bonkers storyline. Oh, hey John! Yeah, sure, ask away. Think I know a community that primarily plays fighting games that might be very much for you. Ooh, interesting. I haven't not played a fighting game in a long time. Like I've eyed with getting a new fighting stick, but truth be told, I should probably get the cable TM first, which you know I might just do at the end of this month. I don't know. Then I need to clean up here, but I could start drawing again. Woo! Well, I can draw a bit at least. Yeah, sure. No problem, do that. Absolutely no problem. I'd actually be interested in who you found there and what you mean. Fuck! I keep forgetting I'm not support and I want to revive people with a rocket launcher. You do not revive people with a rocket launcher.
Be advised, Alpha is under attack. Bravo has been neutralized.
You're a lifesaver!
Move to attack the marked objective. We need defensive support to the marked objective.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm bringing up a bit of design again. You know, I think playing a map like this really highlights how much this game has like missed to a degree the idea of utility in kits. Like, look, I know the engineers actually played a lot, and it makes sense because on most maps, by the way, you have open ranges and you know, vehicles. So basically, when you play an engineer, you do your job and you know, kill vehicles. So actually pretty good at that. The moment any map is just has a little bit more of an infantry focus, though, you get reduced to shoot. Like, I think Hangtal is like the prime example for that, but like, it's not the only map. Like, for example, yeah, on for example, Iberian Offensive, you have the odd IFV that you can shoot. That is true, but like most of the time you don't do that. Similarly, like Empire State, there's no vehicle, so you're basically just a shoot person. Like it's kind of interesting that a whole class gets just delegated to. That's it. I mean, okay, they kind of try to mitigate that by having it so that you can, you know, rockets are actually really good at opening passages. But you know what I mean? It's like, that's kind of it, I guess. And look, I'm not going to say that this is like directly a super bad decision. It's just, I mean, again, I think the main critique I will always have about this game right here is that it works, but is it particularly good? And there's a reason I keep saying they should have had a tiered system of, you know, main gadgets, secondary gadgets, and utility gadgets, like tertiary gadgets, because it actually works to a degree better. Now, what you need to do to get that going is a different topic, but like, the thing is, for example, if you look at how overloaded some are, like, for example, look, the assault can basically do nothing. They just have grenade launchers and that's it. Well, also the spawn beacon, but that is like such a pitiful thing. Incredibly pitiful. Now, so yeah, I mean, assault should have gotten something. But hey, let's not open up the thing that the assault should maybe get the medic kit again. Or the recon kit, I don't know. Need to split something up here. The irony is so that if you look at Battlefield 3, they actually did that to a degree. That, you know, oh, you have always some stuff to heal and shit, but in general, I would say you should have it in a way that, you know, every support has always a defib. They would always have a healing kit, or an, you know, depending on which one is like the healing class, should have that. And then something. I think, ironically, when it comes to the engineer kit, and like, the rest of the game, actually, I'd say they do miss a lot of times, like a bunch of times in their design, because they just copy other games. But in that regard, I think, ironically, Delta Force actually made a very good decision on the engineer, because basically, yes, the engineer in their game can repair. The engineer has rocket launchers and mines. But crucially, the engineer classes have overall, I think there's one exception, which I would say they should have put somewhere else, but anyway. But overall, they have out control. And I don't know, that is kind of a good idea to have in a game. Like, just having some infantry, anti-infantry measurements would definitely help them to just do more, to be picked more overall. The interesting thing is that, you know, supports already have like defensive measures, and it's interesting that they don't double down on that. There is already like counter gadget play in a bit in the recon kit, which they could double down on. But like, yeah, engineers could have some crowd control and stuff, but nope. Then again, I would also maybe rather go that the recon, like let's just put it on thing here. I do think actually, the irony is that counter gadget stuff could also very well be on the assault. Like if you give the assault stuff like, you know, EMP charges or ballistic shields, stuff like, you know, to clear rooms and actually advance, because like let's be real here, the grenade launcher ain't doing that. The normal grenade launcher is not doing that.
Support on the marked objective.
That would work better.
Bravo has been lost.
Enemy forces are on the brink of collapse. We have secured Bravo. Move to attack the marked objective.
Oh yeah, also, in a very lucky twist of fate, like, not both, so I still need to wait for a sale there, but, on Friday, there should actually arrive a new Gunpla model. I grabbed between everything else, I had to just get this time online. Okay, so basically, I was browsing a bit on, you know, the big online, because we needed some new stuff. Also in preparation because I might, well, I'm visiting my parents in like 3 weeks, and I just got some, you know, silicone forms for like soup and stew, because then I can just like make a really nice bean stew, or like not bean stew, but like, you know, a curry or a chili or something like that. Freeze it, and then when I'm gone, I can just pop out the block and eat. I will still tell her how to do other stuff, but she can mix and match. Like, you know, I can even freeze some rice if she wants to. So, hell yeah. That will definitely. My girl will not starve. Is what I'm saying. Yeah, but then I looked up, and turns out one of the few Gunpla models I was actually looking for, like I'm basically looking for 3 models, and now I'm looking for only 2 models, was actually at a reasonable price again, like basically OVP again. So I ordered a high-grade Barbatos. Yay! I might have a high-grade Barbatos soon that I can maybe even build on stream. I do want to also grab, how's it called? Some action stands, you know, just to make it really nice, but that is one of those, hey, I do want to, if I get like a second light source somewhere, like to my right, it would be perfect, because then I can just like shine on my workplace, which I need to clean up, but on my workplace, and then I can build Gunpla on stream again. Hell yeah. And I know that was actually pretty... people like that. And it will be cool to have like an actual stand this time to put them on. But I don't want to put all of my Gunpla on pole. I also need to fix Ariel at some point, because it's so funny how people told me, oh yeah, Ariel is a great model, and that fucking model broke. Like in the dumbest way possible. It's just... But yeah, Barbatos. I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I still need Barbatos Lupus then. And like, I don't know if I will ever get more Gunpla from Iron-Blooded Orphans, but... Look. I know the Gunpla series. I know Gundam for a long time. I think there are great Gundams out there, like in terms of design. But let's just be real here for 1 second, okay? The Barbatos line, kind of the best they ever did. And I know people are like, oh, but I know what you like. You can be wrong, okay? It's fine. Barbatos is just like, because just great slick design in general. The whole big mace or sword, so great, love it. And yeah, it's just, I love how much it goes from like just this really sleek take of the, you know, the classic samurai stuff. Like most Gundams are a bit too bulky, but like like Barbatos always had this sleekness to it, you know, and then it just becomes more and more monstrous, and it's like, oh, that's shit, it's good. Yeah, I really hope for an action stand at some point, because then I can actually go and put especially Lupus Rex in like a nice pose and just be like, hell yeah. Because I'm sorry, Lupus Rex is one of those Gundams you have to kind of put in a lunging pose, I would say. Because, like, I mean, it's monstrous. You want it lunging at its enemies. It's what it does, basically.
marked objective.
Glory to Battle. Honestly, I just wish they did a good Gundam show again. Like, I'm sorry, the last two have been very disappointing. And I know people defend Witch from Mercury, but like, oh my god, you do not need to lie just because your friend group likes it. Sorry, Witch from Mercury just collapses completely. They're not the usual Western. No, you know what? It's fine. They usually do good shit, but like, it's just frustrating, you know? Like, you know, again, Witch from Mercury starts good, but like, I've never seen a show so much just hinting at stuff and then not following up with anything on it. Like, it's kind of wild to say that Prospera was just... She was LARPing as a scheming person. She had no plan. Girl had no plan. She was just like... No! Like, what? And then all the reveals in the end were just like... bad. And Ghoul sucked. Like, look, I'm very much on the Force Femme Ghoul train. Just because Ghoul sucks! He has nothing! They never did anything with him! His whole arc is just to go back to what he was, with no resolution, and it's framed as, this is fine! And you know what? When I see some trans girls online be like, no, you know what? I just Force Femme Ghoul again, just to feel better, that is fine. Because, quite literally, that's the best improvement you can give that fucking character. Very much down on that train. The rest... Yeah, they had Suletta and Mirroring, but even there I feel they didn't even know where to go with the whole series. It's just like... And then we got G-Crux, which was just ass! And like, you know what the funniest bit about this is? I don't know, fuck it. I'm just in the Gundam rant now. Look, when G-Crux started and we were like 2 episodes in, or 2 to 3 episodes in, Agoni and I literally went, oh, this one is going to suck because they're doing nothing here. This is the same shit we've seen with Witch from Mercury playoff. And people were like, no, believe us, this could go somewhere. Around episode 7, 8, nearly everyone I knew was also like, oh, this is garbage, actually. And like, would you listen to us? Because like, Witch from Mercury, this one took longer. Everyone's like, no, this was perfect all the way, and then, you know, in the final episodes, they were like, oh, this is garbage, actually. They had no plan on going somewhere. Like, yep. This is literally... Look, the thing is, a show can start badly, okay? But still turn it around as long as, you know, the ending does something that is interesting, you know? Like, a good plot twist can actually turn a series around. But I know this is, like, wild to just point out, but... Yes, a bad ending can absolutely sink a show posthumous. Because, look, the thing is, especially if you have a show that is built in a way, and I mean quite literally, where the whole setup is, there is some reveal going on and some central conflict, and you learn that it's building up to nothing. I mean, you look back and you just go, what the fuck was this for then? Then again, G-Crux was nothing, and like, I know people are like, oh, this one was just some weird old panic. No, G-Cubes was just dumb. G-Cubes was just someone who thought they were smart in some way, but it was just dumb. And some people still say this is like the best Gundam show they ever did, and I'm just like, look, at some point, can we just talk about how gatekeeping is good, actually?
Depends.
It depends, really, but maybe we should really keep the people out that have no media literacy, basically like everything on site, and, you know, have such a large following they can just bully their way into the discourse. Maybe we should gatekeep a little bit. I don't know. Not that subcultures should always gatekeep a little bit because it's just healthier for them. But still. I still wonder how what the new Gundam game will be like, because like I was very surprised of them being like, look, oh, they're basically monsters and cages. Like, oh, okay, so that's a different mech thing, and then it's like, oh, it's Gundam. Like, oh, Gundam with aliens? Ooh. Why isn't that the show yet? Look, I'm just like very clearly. I need to be very clear here. I know Gundam always had like certain things that people expected it to have, okay? But like at some point, can we just please sit down and just argue that, not argue, can we just acknowledge that some things are dumb and you know, you should explore them. Like for example, Gundam with aliens and bigger space fight, or like in general, monster slash kaiju would be fine. It's not like they did that, actually. I mean, you're probably like, what? No. Yes, they did, and you didn't even notice. Because here's the thing. Let's look back to Iron-Blooded Orphans. By the way, the show where they should actually do a prequel to. Because look, everyone wants to see the fucking Calamity War at some point now. Because here's the thing. Mobile armors are just mechanical kaiju. Like, they are. They are just literally mobile kaiju, like literal mechanical kaijus. What are we doing here? They already fucking introduced that. They were like, the subplot point, yes, but you know what I mean? They basically already had kaijus, they just made them organic. Oh no, the horrors. Yeah, I'm very much interested in that.
Bravo is under attack.
Be advised, troop strength down to 50%.
but also like, you know,
Move to attack the marked objective.
like, look, people complaining about the fact that there are now like literal kaijus in a Gundam game, which apparently like it's a game. It's not even like, you know, a mainline series. But okay. Oh no, there are kaijus in a Gundam series. How can they break the material of the show so much? I don't know. The last show they made literally had interdimensional travel and was ass. So I don't know. I don't think kaijus are going to be the worst part for Gundam. In fact, I think kaijus are actually pretty neat. Like, I'm sorry. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Robots fight like real robots is cool. Like mech fighting mech, cool. Okay, no question. But let's just acknowledge that big robot fighting big monster has always been cool and will always be cool. Like from Mazinger to what was the most recent one? I don't know. I mean, look, even in Darling in the Franxx, one of the worst fucking mech anime I've ever seen in my life. Like, okay, listen, I actually have a problem now with ranking the whole is Darling in the Franxx worse than Witch from Mercury? Yes, no.
Darling in the Franxx wanted to be a good show until the until the voice actress got bullied. So I would say, for the lack of trying, Witch from Mercury ranks below Darling in the Franxx.
Ah, that's actually fair.
But you could also argue that they had one good character dynamic in Witch from Mercury.
Yes, that was better. In Darling, they had a bunch of good ones, but they just like
Killed them.
not only that they killed them, like the moment Darling in the Franxx got interesting, you know, when all the fucking teenage angst and sexuality and problems boiled over, they just ended. It just resolved itself without problem. Which is insane. But still. Anyway, that one crashed, but you know, hey, they fought Kaiju and it was still cool. Truth be told, Witch from Mercury could have probably been improved if it had Kaiju battles. But the whole battles, like the whole, oh yeah, you have schools that and groups that fight against each other. I mean, they cut that out too. At some point, it was just not relevant anymore. And I'm just like, what do you mean you have the whole, oh hey, the school houses fight against each other, and you don't have the whole build a new house or you know make an underdog sports story out of that. You know, the basic shit. No, we're not doing that. Tournament arc? Do you want to deliver us quality? No. School versus school? No. They could have pulled all the tropes in Witch from Mercury, but they did none. It's amazing. And you're like, oh, but those are tropes. Yeah, but they're good tropes. I don't care. Like, I'm sorry. Imagine this. You know, they're winning, you know, based very closely the inner school tournament. Suddenly, oh, Soletta and Ghoul are forced to work together because they're like the representatives for the inter-school tournaments. Like, oh, an even bigger tournament arc. And then Ghoul is like, oh shit, but my suit isn't as good as yours. And like, oh, well, we upgraded with gun parts. Like, but I can't use them. And then it says, oh, don't worry, Ghoul, you just need to take estrogen, and then it all becomes better to use. I will not let the Ghoul should become a girl Dream died. I'm sorry, Galja Turk lives on. She's perfect. But yeah, I'm looking forward to my Barbatos. I still need to check regularly when I could nab Barbatos Lupus, but having Barbatos already is cool. I can have like, I don't know, just gonna pose it really well, and then it's like, yeah. Iron Blood offense was good. God damn it. Again, I want the Calamity War thing. Would it be a kaiju show? Yes. Would it be cool? Yes, because it's a kaiju show. Who dislikes kaiju shows? I want to get to know that person and ask him why their taste is so bad. Oh look, it said one map where it's said that engineers could use some crowd control stuff. Then again, I am slightly pissed that their Gundam tabletop game is painting miniatures again, which is like, sorry, I can't paint miniatures in this apartment. Why didn't you just use SD systems to just have some clickable things? Truth be told, you know what the weirdest thing is I ever... okay. This is probably the weirdest thought of all time, and like... this is not even a weird thought. This is just like a genuine thing I need to ask. Why are Amiibos not a board game? Like, okay. I know. You're probably going to be like, what? What the fuck? And here's the thing. Amiibos are mostly there to just, you know, stand around, okay? Like, you stand around and you maybe get some shit in a video game from them. And then during the Wii era, they made a few games that were really, really bad at Amiibo integration. And nowadays, they're just even more of them, just an overpriced collector's thing because, yeah. Are there some I'm interested in? Well, you know, I still am looking for the Diana Amiibo, so maybe.
Thank you so much.
But genuinely, at some point, I would need to ask, why are there not a board game system? Like, look, okay, this probably sounds really fucking funny, but the reality is, it's kind of simple, honestly. Look, if you go and you take something like, I don't know, and this is, by the way, something where I will say, if you do it right, you could genuinely make a lot of money from it. See, I don't know who remembers it, but there was this thing called Heroescape, okay? And the thing about Heroescape is that it was basically pre-molded, pre-painted. Well, they were not painted; they were like literally the color was there. Just tile sets that you could also stack on top of each other. And then you have like a very simple 3D tabletop game. It's actually a really cool system because, let's just be real here, having a modular system to just build tabletop guilds is neat. It's neat, it's plain simple. But here's the thing. Ever thought about how it has a separate amiibo, I think. It is funny, but thanks to Smash Bros, I guess. Like, I think the only reason I really would say there's a benefit for games coming out on the Switch too is just the fact that, you know, there is a Diana amiibo. Like, I will never play that game on the Switch too because it's the worst version. I have it on PC, it runs perfectly. I could buy it on PS5, it would run perfectly. But her as like a small little collectible figurine, cool. The thing is just, yeah, Sephiroth, look, the fact they introduced amiibos with Smash Bros, and the fact that this was like the Smash Bros game where everyone was in there, thank you, Sakurai. Truth be told, I'm still looking for the Palutena and Pit amiibo, but rip my life, I guess. I would just like to have those. So the thing is, you could basically easily sell those like as it, because like just like molded and printed plastic tiles, those are not hard to do, you know, those are not hard. However, and this is a big thing where I would say this is how you could actually make this an interesting thing for weirdos. Like, if you make it so that you know, the figurines like actually scan and then have like maybe even slightly different abilities or variants, one thing. But also, look, things recognizing that there is just, you know, a thing above it, like an FF series, they are pretty cheap. You could make it so that you have like this board that you could stack upon each other, and then, you know, it connected connected by a USB to a switch or so, or like a switch dock, and it just knows how the field looks like, you know, in terms of how you build it, but also where which character is on the board. And you could like have a small tabletop game with that. Now this would actually make it very funny, because this would mean, you know, you would have, you know, Mario fight Sephiroth in a war situation. But hey, Smash Bros already exists, so it's not that hard to expand from that if you just say like every single figurine just gets a gets an entry for that, which also would mean like every new released figurine would add to the roster, which would be cool. Like, but yeah, Sephiroth amiibo is funny. I just like ironically mostly still looking for like Diana, but also, you know, Pit and Palutena. And I guess that Pit, I like Kid Icarus, you know? That's a good series. Again, where's the Kid Icarus Uprising? Unironically, the Kid Icarus, if they ever announce a Kid Icarus Uprising port, and if they were like, oh, this one is exclusive to, it would not need to be exclusive to the Switch 2, but these fuckers would do it. This would generally be one reason why I would maybe buy one together, you know, with the next Xenoblade, but that's literally it. That's quite literally it. I'm like, look, I've been on a rant before, but like, it is kind of insane to me that you need to. Yeah, you know what? We should do that once per stream. Like, it's kind of amazing how much the Switch 2 is not like a good upgrade, even. Like, okay, look, the thing is, it is an upgrade if you pay. Because, okay, basically, PS5 and Xbox for that matter, but like, I have a PS5. I know someone actually said that technically the PS5 and PS4 are to a degree the same mega generation. And I wouldn't say that this is wrong. I would say there are some differences, but overall I would say the general trend of the PS5 is just slightly better PlayStation 4 games that run extremely well. And you know, that's actually good. Because I think people really forgot how bad loading times were on the PS4. Like, look, they weren't like a deal breaker, but truly, it was annoying. Meanwhile, if I put a game into the PS5, and they usually also have like upgrades to PS5 mode, etc., I get a really good game that just runs, okay? And aside from a very few like you know, ones where that isn't really, it just has problems. The PS5 mode is usually really fucking good. It's just a patch. Well, not the PS5 one, the performance mode, because you know you have like then the PS5 games that run either on performance or quality, and it's like, oh, do you want to have 4K 30 FPS or 1080p 60 FPS? The answer is 1080p 60 FPS. The games run perfectly. They look wonderful. I genuinely do not care. And yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you here. People who are like, oh, why did you buy a PS5? It's a good upgrade. We have played a bunch of games that just, like, even the on a technical level, locked games just run more smoothly. Like, look, most games that are locked at 30 FPS usually did so to, you know, avoid hiccups and still had hiccups. Now you have a game that has consistently no hiccups. I mean, they could still unlock stuff. Like, for example, the Order 1886 is one of those where I would say this is one of those games where I wish I had seen the PS5 mode. Unironically, I think the Order 1886 would have probably even gotten the sequel it wanted, if they actually released the PS5 mode. But no, doesn't need to, but it's fine. Like, it works, Meanwhile, Switch. You want to have the better version? You buy the Switch 2 version. Excuse me. Yeah, I know the Switch 2 version has content in it, but like, excuse me. Like, what? And it's like even I think one of the and I know why they did it, but it's still like, holy shit. Fucking cheapskates. A bunch of those, Switch 2 version re-releases are just the Switch 1 cartridge with a code for the Switch 2 version, and I just sit there being like, what are we doing here? Like, I think we can accept the fact that on some level Nintendo really just wants to re-release the same game as they did with the Wii U games. The difference is just, and I will say that very upfront, aside from the fact that they didn't even re-release all the relevant Wii U games, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, yeah, not a lot of people had a Wii U. And I say this as someone that has a Wii U and kind of likes the Wii U, and generally would have almost bought a second Wii U, if Monster Hunter Portable, if Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate would have actually had a LAN mode between Wii U's. But no, it does not, because Capcom is dumb. But yeah, that's the reason. And then I look at the Switch too, and I'm just like, this could have been an update. Like, I'm sorry, you're not telling me that adding a motorbike to Xenoblade Chronicles was that hard. And even then, you could and even then, even if it wouldn't run on the Switch 1, which I doubt, because this was a Wii game, you could still, like, turn it off. Again, it's wild to me that, I bought a PS5 and people tell me, oh, this is like a useless console that doesn't even have video games. It has a bunch of games on it, who cares? Like, this is bullshit. And a bunch of games that are even like preferably played on like a TV. Like, for example, look, I'm not gonna stream Spider-Man games. I will play Spider-Man Miles Morales though, because I like that. I like Spider-Man games, but it's more of a game I want to enjoy it on the couch with Agonia. Or in general, there are a bunch of ones like, oh, look, I know people are now gonna be like, oh, why did you do that? Because it actually is kind of fun and it's not really a bad game, but oh no, because there was a Little Big Planet platformer in the, coming out at launch, and we got that, and it turns out, oh wow, a core platformer is actually kind of fun to play on a TV. Also, can we just point out for 1 second that Sony has now released more like 3D platformers in the last years than Nintendo. Like just straight up, they have released more, which is weird to say,
Here's your target. Move in and secure.
but they did. And like on the PS5 alone, I might mention that, you know, on the PS5 alone, they're already out competing. Yeah, let's just be real here. With new releases from 3D platformers, they are out competing the Switch 1 and 2 together. It is weird. Now, you know, you say, oh, but you know, this doesn't mention quality. Look, I don't know how good Super Mario Odyssey is. I heard both. I will, like, if I ever played it, I would probably be like, this is fine. Look, I like Super Mario 64. I really like Super Mario. I should probably play through Super Mario Sunshine at some point.
Be advised, hostiles now hold.
And Galaxy is actually really enjoyable. But like, think about that. The two new 3D platformers they made is Super Mario Odyssey and Donkey Kong Bonanza. So it's one team. And they just, yeah. I mean, they re-released Super Mario 3D World, but look. If I then look at the PS5, you have I think they could have done more, but that's a different topic. You have, on the PS5 alone, Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Again, we're not talking quality, we're just like, they did that. That game came out at launch. Then you have Ratchet and Clank. They released a new one. They just made a new Ratchet and Clank. It's there. And then they also made, well, 2 Astrobot games. Don't forget, the PS5 came with a free Astrobot game. And it's one of those, holy shit, this is really good games. Like, I'm kind of amazed to say that at least in terms of platformers, they kind of beat Nintendo at their own thing to a degree. Like, they even did it as a pack-in game, and yeah, you could say, oh, but you know, the tie-in game is the packed-in game wasn't really that you know, big, etc. Like, who cares? It was one of the most lovely and enjoyable platformers in years. And it was generally one of those, hey, this is what the console can actually do games. So yeah, it was a tech thing. That's true. But an incredibly enjoyable tech thing that you could replay and master, and that was great. I don't know. Ooh, nice. We have SMG's done. Oh, well. And then they made a full-sized game. And it's also fantastic. Literally won Game of the Year. The thing that did any Mario game ever win Game of the Year? You know, they were good, yes, but like, Game of the Year. It's kind of wild to think about, you know? I mean, this year is probably going to Capcom in some capacity. I have actually not played the Onimusha demo because it didn't start, so I don't know. I suspect the final game will 100% run without problems, like it, no. But I don't know if I will. I don't know if I will get Onimusha. Like, I mean, I guess I can just, you know, fill up the hat trick, just being like, hey, Capcom released 3 really good games in 1 year. I guess I could do that. But yeah. Truth be told, I just don't know. I have not played the demo. It just didn't work, so.
We lost over half our forces. Let's stay alert.
Yeah, you know, I think one of the most interesting questions is going to be more like, how quickly does anyone think will the third installment of the Final Fantasy VII Remake just vanish again from public consciousness? Like, I remember when that game came out that year, and like, it's not done yet, but it's good. Like, it's a good game, and the next one seems to just, you know, do more of that, which also good, I guess. But it was kind of funny how fast people just stopped talking about it. And again, the dev team of the remake trilogy actually seems to be a pretty chill bunch. Where I'm like, they should actually be let made a new title again. Like, it's kind of insane to think about that they are tied up in, you know, doing the Resident Evil 7 remake, which is good. Like, I like, again, it's one of those games that is very bold in its confidence of what it does, but like, I kind of wish that team would actually make a new mainline title again. Just saying. Like, there was this, the director of the game actually just had the interview talking about how, the fact they added, you know, more queer characters actually made the game and world feel more alive and richer in terms of experiences and, you know, and like, oh yeah, true. Why can't you make a new mainline title? It will take at least 4 more years, I know that, which sucks. But hey, maybe Final Fantasy 17 is going to be good? Like, I don't know much about 16. I just... the thing about 16 is... it exists! Maybe I will play it one day. but it was one of those games that came out and people were like, "Hey, this is good," and then with time everyone was like, "Okay, but actually it was ass," and like, "Oh, okay, what?"
Be advised, objective Alpha is in enemy hands.
Forces running low. Don't be easy targets.
I need a defensive line on that position.
Heading to victory. Maintain attack on all fronts.
Defend that position. I'm here.
That is going to be a close loss. Tank. Yeah. Okay, not level 200 next week though. We will be 200. Otherwise, this is going actually pretty good. Yeah, next week is, I think, the gun rework, so very much interested how that looks like. And afterwards, there's going to be yeah, season 4 is soon-ish, I would say. How many are there of this gun? Um, Something smells a little burnt here. I know if that is just me, but there was a whiff of burnt stuff. Oh well, you know, maybe I'm just getting a bit what's it called, paranoid. The heat is just a lot, but yeah. Interestingly, they shuffled around some of the characters down here, so they're more class accurate, which is interesting. Which definitely feels like they're going to class lock them finally. So, yeah. Very much looking forward to that, if that happens. Well, oh well. Hope you all had a good time talking. I know it was a bit more of a relaxed one. It's also way too warm. Again, tomorrow, we will be back with more Monster Hunter Portable Third. Because last week we kicked off the whole, oh yeah, we're just gonna play it on Wednesday. And then Agonia was like, actually, I like playing this a lot. Let's play it also on Thursday. And when we can on Friday. And on Saturday. And on Monday. And so, you know, we're now playing a bunch of Monster Hunter Portable Third. But it's fine because Monster Hunter Portable Third is like really good. And just really reinforces why I have problems with modern titles. It's just wild how much they like the sauce. And I think a lot of people genuinely do not know how much they do. But yeah, see you all around tomorrow for more monster hunting because, oh my god, you know what? It's not only monster hunting, we're hunting more Rathatas, which are the top percentage of Rathatas, totally. But they give us top percentage Rathata gear, and with that we can kill more which is good. So yeah, be there when we bonk. Or I bonk. Because I have a great sword. I can stand there and charge and bonk, and I do damage. Agonia has a toothpick. She tickles the monster with elemental damage, so she's still, she's still viable with like the right setup. I'm not going to say she's worthless. No.
Sword and shield is worthless.
You are not worthless. You still
Not a sword and shield, but sword and shield.
Yeah, be there to witness her pain playing Sword and Shield in old generations. See you all around. Bye.